Beginner's error. Sorry. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Not London Narratives. And where do I start? That was hard to watch, and that is me being kind. Honestly, that was very difficult to watch, in my opinion, and I will not be watching the highlights of that game. No. Um, I think that there are lots of things to go over. So let me share my screen and let's start from here. So yeah, okay, add to stage. Yeah, okay. Hello, Shanta. Okay, Shanta, let me know when you join. Let me know when you join. Can you imagine? Did you turn on like your notifications? Did you turn on notifications, or how did you? Okay, we'll just talk in real time when you join the call. Um, so let me wait for you instead of me starting with the show. I'll wait for you to join, and then I'll just like add you to the stage. Let me wait for you. But yeah, let me go over this while I wait for you. So as you can tell by the stats here, they beat us 4-0 today. They absolutely destroyed us. They used us to wash the floor. This guy right here scored the first goal. And the only thing that could go through my mind when Harry Kane scored was honestly, this is what we used to have in front of goal. And Brennan Johnson and Sholanke is what we have now. That was the only thing going through my head, honestly speaking. Like, I remember when we sold Harry Kane, and okay, Shanta is here. All right, Shanta. Hello, brother. How you doing? And then
Hello, hello,
background music.
hello. How are you?
How you doing? Nice to meet you, bro. How you
Nice to
doing?
see you too. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I didn't know you look very young. I didn't
I'm
even
tw-
know
I'm
this was
21. I'm 21.
1 month, one
April.
month, 1 month. April, May, June. You're 2 months older than me.
Yes,
You're
sir.
2 months older than me. What day?
9th of April.
You're okay. You're 2 months older than me. I'm 21st of June. I'm 24th of June actually.
Uh-huh.
24th of June. Are you guys having a party?
No, I'm at Starbucks right now, so I'm just in the cafe.
Okay. Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to
Okay,
see you
so
too.
okay, where do we even start from? Tell
Oh
me,
my God,
what
yeah.
what what, are your, what were your thoughts on the game?
I was watching the game. Oh my God. First of all, I would start off with Paulinia debut.
Mhm.
To be fair, I think he's played only 65 minutes since April, is what the stats are. I will give him the benefit of doubt. I saw him man standing, not doing a lot, not making tackles. He just seemed like he's not interested in the game today. Gave away like a penalty, but
Mhm.
I will give him the benefit of doubt. It's just the first game. It's preseason. He just had 3 days with the training staff, with the team. It takes time to build the chemistry, but um, moving on from Paulinho, I feel like he's gonna get better as we move towards the season. Um, One of the best players on the field today was Bentancur. I feel like he was one of the best performers. He was carrying the ball, passing it off to the final third as much as he could. Um, the left winger, oh my God, Brennan Johnson, more like Brennan nonsense. He was so bad. He was non-existent for the whole 60 minutes that he played. I think he only had like 12 touches in the first half, and all the other players had more than 20 touches. I just find it hard to fit him inside the team. I feel like he's trying to find a position in the team, but he just does not fit there. He just does not fit. He's finding it hard to find the relevance in the team right now. And I was surprised when I saw Johnson on the left wing and Oliver did not start the game, or even Matthews Tell. I would prefer Odegaard or Tell over Brennan Johnson, I don't know why Johnson was starting the game. Um, as far as I know, he's the best scorer till last season, but all he can do is tap ins. We can all agree on that. He cannot create, he cannot dribble, he cannot pass the goddamn ball. All he can do is just tap the ball in. And I feel like we are lacking the quality in the final third. Richarlison was trying, but I don't have anything against him. But he just does not have it. He doesn't have it in him to just be it. I feel like he's a good player. He tries a lot, but he just doesn't have it. So we need to sell him. We need to trade him for a better player. Could be anyone. Could be Wissa. I would prefer Wissa or Richarlison. Offer or Richarlison, pay 30 million, get Wissa. I would say the same for Solanke. But just talking about today's game, I feel like there is a lot lacking in the final third, and we need signings. If we had 60 million for Morgan Gibbs White, we'll throw 10 more million in, get that as a signing done, get him in the team. We need a 10. There was no creativity today on the game. What Sar is a good player, but he's more of a number 8. He cannot play 10. You need more creative thinkers and just make those moves. I don't think Sar had it. And Bergwall was one of the players that I feel um, was better when he came in instead of Paulinho in the second half. I think he performed really good. But again, I keep going back to the final third. There is no creativity from the midfield to the forward line. All our plays start all the way in the defense. The passes are mostly in the defense, and we cannot hold the ball in the final third. As soon as we get the ball, we lose it. So I'm gonna wait for the window to close and see what we can do to make it better.
All right. So thank you for that. I wrote some things, and I find some of the things you said very interesting because I love how like two different people can watch the same football match and have different opinions. It's very interesting. So on Johnson, do you think, and I want to start with Johnson now. Do you think that if Solanke is unavailable, there is a world where Johnson is our 9? Because I genuinely don't think that Richarlison is good enough. And this is a huge it's a huge problem. So what do you think?
That's I think perfect. That's what I mentioned in the chat yesterday with you, I guess. I think Johnson is more of a 9, like a false 9, than a winger. And he agrees to it. Not that he's a better of a striker, but he agrees to the fact that he said it on some live news or something that he's not a good dribbler and he's working on that. But just the fact that he is not a good dribbler and he has no skills makes him unfit for the winger position. As a winger, you have the responsibility to take your man one on one, to make those passes, to make those crosses. And I feel like Brendan Johnson does not have it. If you can tap in, he can shoot, he can tap in, he can do that better, he can make the runs. Positioning is one of the key traits of a striker. And I think Johnson's got it. So I would love to see Johnson play as a false nine, as a striker. But as a winger, I don't think he's got it. And I don't know why I think Frank is a really smart guy, the new coach. I do not know why he's trying Johnson on the wing. I clearly don't see Johnson as a winger.
So you know the thing. I think that he could play as a 9, but I think he has to play as a specific profile of 9. So a lot of the time, playing as a 9 is very tricky because you're going up against very like majority of the time the most physical people in football are centre backs. Like they are so strong, they're so big, they're so tall, they're so hefty and whatever. And because of that, that's why we saw Son struggle to play 9 a lot of times because when it came to like playing against the low block where you have to hold up the ball and like actually play football with your legs, he couldn't do that. But if it's against the Liverpool where it's a high line, it's against the City where it's a high line, and you're just telling him to run in behind, he will do that fine for you. But now that's the thing about Johnson. So now what about games where we play a low block? Do you think that we use Johnson in games against the better teams, and then maybe a Richarlison or a Solanke against like low block teams because he's good in the air. Like that's one thing that he can do. And even the good in the air, he missed the header from 1 yard out last game or something crazy like that. So do you get like even that step, he get a CB. Do you get what I'm saying? So what do you think?
Well, again, if I go back to the point that he can be a good false nine, I feel like to fit so Johnson in the squad in the lineup, we have to completely change the way we play right now. Instead of having a four at the back, we might have to change it to a three at the back and focus more on that midfield. So there's a foundation to the game. We get the ball from the back and we pass the ball. We hold possession. Um, of course, even counterattacks need the transition from midfield to strikers. We cannot provide the balls to Johnson without that midfield. So in the current situation that we are in right now, even if we play Johnson in any situation, he is absolute rubbish because we cannot provide what it needs for Johnson to be successful. So before we get into the debate of where to play Johnson, we need to sort out the midfield first for anything about the final third to make sense. So I think the first debate should just be that we don't have a number 10. We have a number 6 now, Paulinho, but he's going to take time to fit in that squad. And we have number 8. I think Bentancur is a really good player, and we should, stick to him. He's pretty good. We should train Bergwall to be the next Paulinho, maybe. But I feel like we need to sort out some situations in the midfield, get some creativity, and get a winger, and then think about what's going to happen with Johnson. We are way too behind to even talk about what's going to happen with Johnson.
I think what you said is very interesting, and I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I genuinely now that you mentioned it, I genuinely think that considering the scenario we're in now, a back three might be our best bet. Like using the wingers, like wing backs for creativity. Because I can't lie to you, that front line, I know everybody's saying that front line, that front line. There was a moment in the game where Harry Kane was on the ball and he played a pass to switch play to the other flank, to the other wing, and Olise just like one touch control the ball. And when I just saw that piece of play, I just looked at them like, wow, what is this? Because every week I watch Brennan, I watch Solanke, I watch Richarlison, I watch Odegaard, and just seeing that piece of play basically summed up the whole game to me because the quality, the gap in quality was so clear for everyone to see. Like Bayern, and this is why I love the fact that we've been playing Bayern in preseason because last year they absolutely battered us. This year, I think it was even worse because last year, at least we used to send everybody forward and it was inshallah and vibes. And then everybody just used to go forward and at least we'll have one chance or whatever. This one, where we're trying to be defensively solid and you have to have quality attackers in order to be able to create chances, there was nothing for us. Like we had nothing. Nothing. I saw Richarlison trying to shoot the ball from outside the box. I don't know who do you think you're playing against? Ramsdale? Like what are you doing? What are you doing? Like today, my God, I nearly lost here. Maybe we would make a team for three at the back. I think we'll do that later. But let me move on to someone else. Paulinia. Funny enough, I had forgotten that he hasn't played in a long time. But I didn't think he was bad. I just thought that there were times when he felt lost or he looked lost. And in contrast to you, I felt like Bentancur was the reason why Paulinho was looking lost. I felt like Bentancur grew into the game, which is why I said that it's so incredible how people watch the same game and have different opinions. It's really incredible. But anyways, I felt like Bentancur had a slow start to the game and then he grew into the game. And because they were playing a double pivot. And if you remember, I think Olise and Coman swapped wings. And then when Olise and Coman swapped wings, majority of the attack was coming from Coman. Do you remember that? And that was Bentancur's side. Bentancur was the one on the left. So Bentancur was meant to take care of that rubbish that was happening there, because they were massacring us from that left hand side. And I felt like he wasn't doing it. So because of that, Paulina had to be coming like towards that side. And then these guys have the quality to just switch play. And then he's just running everywhere, trying to cover as much ground as possible. And because of how Bentancur wasn't doing what he had to do, he made Paulina look worse than he did. I think there was one slide tackle that he did, and we won the ball, and then he gave it to somebody, and we lost it immediately again. And that just sums like the way we lost the ball today. I can't remember a game that was so like that was that bad. Like the golf in class was that bad and that big. Honestly. But what's your take on what I just said?
There's a few things you mentioned. First of all, we played against Bayern Munich, so it's of course one of the best teams that we can play against. I was not expecting a win anyway. They have anyone from the Bayern Munich team. They join our team. They walk straight into our lineup. Any single player from that team is better than anyone on our team right now. We don't got Sonny right now. We don't have Madison, no Kulu. Without any one of those, anyone from the Bayern Munich team makes our team much better. First of all, that's the first thing. Second of all, when you say Bentancur was not doing his job, well, it depends on what you think Bentancur is supposed to do. So according to you, he's supposed to be covering that left side when there's attacks going on. But how I see Bentancur is, I see him more as an attacking midfielder. I don't see him as like a 6. I feel like when I say he's more of an 8, who is a more attacking profile kind of midfielder. Because if you see when we signed Bentancur, we had everything in the team. And I think Bentancur's first game for Spurs, he was playing cam. He was not playing CM. So I think Bentancur is more of like, he gets the ball, he wins the ball, and he passes the ball. He's better with those passes. He goes with the long balls, and he, runs with the ball. I don't think he's that great of a 6. He defends the ball good, but to me, we signed Paulinia because I feel like first of all the formation was so long. I would not put Bentancur and Paulinia as like 2 CMs. I would rather play Paulinia as like a CDM in the middle with the defenders, and I would play like Sar and Bentancur as like 2 like CMs, maybe not cam. Sar was a cam, which was I don't like how the formation was today. But we signed Paulinia because he is a CDM and he is supposed to assist Romero and Randaman, and he's supposed to make the jobs easier. So putting him on one side isn't job done. Putting him on the center is why we signed him, is what I feel. And we should keep him as a CDM. And because we don't have a cam right now, we have to play 2 CMs in front of a CDM. And I don't blame the manager for that. But the last thing that I noticed was even when I think at 60, 65 minutes, Bayern made a big change of 8 players, and they got all their Kidzania in, and we had our first team players just terrible. We could not even compete against their, academy players. And again, it's a Bayern Academy players, so I do not blame our players because it's supposed to be a world-class team. But it's just the fact that the players just lost the motivation towards the final third of the game, and we just did not step up as a team. And we just got outclassed. We are just not good enough. There's nothing else to say about this game. I feel like this should be an eye opener, and we need to get them signings in. We cannot go to the season looking like we look today. I know we're not going to face Bayern Munich every single day, but looking like this, well, imagine we get one more injury. We are one more injury away from being a complete mess. We are already a big mess. Imagine if we get a Bentancur injury. Oh, we're starting off with an Archie Gray or a Bergwall. I don't mind that, but playing with an Archie Gray or a Bergwall in a Champions League game where we have to face teams like Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, you think playing these 19-year-old kids is what we need in the Champions League? No, we need them signings done ASAP. And I feel like I'm going to stop here for now, and I'm going to take your opinions on this, and then I'm going to come back in.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think after the second goal, I had the game on, but I wasn't really watching anymore. Because even before they scored the first goal, it was a battery. When they scored the first goal, it was a 1-0 battery. Like, there are one news where it was tight. It was a scrappy goal, like the final. And there are one news where that should be 10-0. Like, do you get what I'm saying? They just didn't have their shooting boots on. Like, that 1-0 wasn't 1-0, even though it was 1-0. You get what I mean? Like, and it was the way, like, I struggled with a lot of things today. I agree with you 100% on the formation. Sa as a 10. Yes, he worked against Wickham, maybe. How I don't even know how they pronounce it. But Thomas Frank needs to stop that rubbish now, because that guy gave us nothing creativity wise. Nothing. And you know what was even more annoying was that he kept on joining me, Richarlison up front, but then Richarlison was always losing the ball. So we couldn't even have Sarr contributing defensively. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was left to only Paulinia and Bentancur. So I think a 4-3-3 would have been the best. And I also noticed today that there were some games that we've seen. Like, I remember the first game we played very direct. Like, as soon as you find the opportunity to play like a long ball, go for it. Today, we're trying to, I don't know what we're thinking. We're trying to play like that. But we're trying to build up from the back. And then we have Kudus, who is our most dangerous player, coming deep to get the ball. And what? You people expect him to run through all those layers of Bayern players and still go to the front, create something, and like for somebody or score. Like, I felt like the approach to the game today was horribly wrong. Like, today, it is play long balls, because a lot of the balls, like they were playing Skudus, were very direct. He had to be jumping to chest it and all that. Like, don't give him balls like that. No, Stanisic is a good defender. Don't give him something like that. Make him uncomfortable. Let him have Kudus running at him or running side by side where he's uncomfortable, where Kudus can move and unsettle him. Don't like let him be settled and then now you have to beat him. No, you won't win. You won't win because these players are not just like phenomenal ability wise. I noticed today again, a lot of their players are like giants. And even the ones that are not like giants, they're so strong. Like, they're so strong. So we can't even compete physically. We can't. Like, I saw Goretzka after he had a shot, and his shirt, his shirt was like, yeah, and his muscles. He wasn't even flexing. And I was like, what is this? Like, is it Brennan Johnson and Koda? You want to play against this? This is a joke. It's not possible. Like, there's no way. We had no chance today. No chance. The tactics, like, honestly, Thomas got it horribly wrong today. Horribly wrong, in my opinion. But yeah, that's it. That's
I agree to a lot of things that you said, but again, like I feel Bayern Munich is way far ahead in terms of squad depth, in terms of the quality of players that they have. If you match every single player of them, or Harry Kane was supposed to be one of our guys, but he played for them. If you compare Harry Kane with Richarlison, there is no comparison. Compare Luis Diaz with Brennan nonsense. Like, there is no comparison. We'll compare Olise with our right winger Kudus. It's still different levels. I feel like Kudus is still not there. I think I mentioned something about Kudus is not confident enough yesterday in the chat. Um, and I think you said that he is confident, or maybe it was some other chat. But I feel like the one thing that Kudus lacks is, which we have been lacking for the past couple seasons, we do not have wingers that take shots. Sonny was lacking that last season, and even the season before that. I do not know why our wingers are such big. I don't want to swear on the chat, but it's just, why are our wingers not going for it, taking more shots, just cutting in instead of just going straight outside the wing? Just cut it in, go centrally, take shots. Like, if you see the stats for today's games, 26 shots on target, or 26 shots for Bayern Munich, and we had 6 shots. Like, compare those stats: 8 shots on target, 3 shots on target, which is out of those 3 shots, 2 of them were just Richarlison's stupid shots, which don't even count as shots. So we need to get more players that take those shots. I feel like Kudus is a really good player. I feel like Johnson and Kudus are two completely like different players, different profiles. Johnson cannot dribble, Kudus can dribble. Johnson cannot hold the ball, Kudus can hold the ball. Kudus cannot shoot. I'm sorry to say that, but in all the preseason games, I do not think Kudus has even had one shot on target. And I feel like even with the limited time that Johnson has had in the preseason games, because we have been trying Odegaard on the wing, I feel like Johnson has had a goal because he shoots and he's not afraid to go forward and take that shot and just go for the goal, even if it's not a good angle. And I feel like all the wingers that we sign now, if we sign anyone, we need to get these players who are going to go ahead and take these shots and not just dribble and hold bullshit position that doesn't even matter. Because all the game that we build is all with the center backs and of the CDM. If you see, the most of the game that we make and the passes that we complete are all between Van de Ven, Romero, Spence, and Pedro Porro. Most of our passes in games are all built in the back, and add Vicario to that as well. We do not make any game or hold the ball in the final third or in the midfield because we do not have that creativity. And if you pull up the Spurs 2018 or 2020 squad, and if you see that squad compared to the squad we have today, the glow down is crazy. It's horrendous. Or compare the striker Harry Kane versus Richarlison or even Solanke. The glow down is crazy. Alderweireld, Vertonghen, oh my god. Or compare you go down and you see the wingers. With Danny Rose, I feel like any day is better than Jet Spence. Dele Alli. Dele Alli, compare Dele Alli with Sar. Dembele to Paulinia. Heung-min Son, exactly. Look at the glow down. The glow down from 8 years ago or 7 years ago is crazy. And I feel like every team except Spurs has had a glow up. And I feel like even if not a glow up, they have maintained. What is the big name that you associate to Spurs right now? What is that one big name that people can say, okay, after Sonny has left the club, who do you think is that one big name that people will, that everybody will love in the club? I feel like Romero could be that name, but if you saw him in the game today, he was being so stupid. He was behind Kane the whole game. Those tackles were not required. He got himself a yellow card because he is just a stupid player. I respect him. He's one of the best center backs in the world, but you have to keep your cool in these games. And I feel like we lack that one leader in the team. And there is no one big name anymore in the team that all the fans can relate to and be like, okay, this is my club, this is my player.
You know what's funny about what you said about wingers not taking shots? I had a conversation with my friend. There's a City fan. I know I always make a reference to him because he's the one, like, we talk about football like 24/7. We talk about football 24/7. And he was talking about how, like, this was about the Semenyo signing. And I told him that, oh, I don't think Semenyo is the best player in the world, but Semenyo works defensively and Semenyo has that unpredictability about him. And this was before we signed Kudus. And I was like, I don't mind Semenyo. And he was like, bro, he doesn't think Semenyo is all that. He thinks that he's one of these players that he has a ceiling, and he doesn't think that he's like the caliber of player that Spurs should be signing. But he said one thing that, bro, a lot of our wingers don't take shots, and Semenyo takes shots. Like, if you check a lot of the Premier League teams and the attackers, their shots per game, he said, bro, when you check Tottenham, we don't even come close. Like, they don't shoot. Our attackers, not just even our wingers, our attackers, even our nine, they don't shoot. Talk less of our midfielders. They don't shoot. Like they don't shoot. It is run to the byline, cut back. Run to the byline, cut back. Run to the byline, cut back. Genuinely, that's what they do. The only person in that whole team that you say that is not afraid to take a shot is Poro. That's the only one. And that one, I don't even know what goes to his head. He sees opening, he's shooting. There's nothing you're telling him. He's shooting. That's the only player. The rest of them, never. It's like they're scared. They're genuinely scared. It's like they're scared of shooting. So I found that very interesting because like it was like he pointed that out to me. And when I thought about it, because we used to remember Son taking shots from outside box. Madison and Leicester, we know he's capable of outside box shots. But Spurs, nothing. Like, and I remember there was this period where Spurs fans were asking that is he an instruction from Ange that Van der Ven now had that goal that was at the rooftop. And like we're like, oh, you see what happens when you shoot from outside the box and things like that. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I don't know why they don't shoot. Like, I genuinely do, and I understand it under Thomas Frank because he has this high value XG shooting inside the 18-yard box because statistically it improves your chance of scoring and all this nerd like talk. Anyways, let me not stay stuff like that. But yeah, basically, like statistically improves your chance of scoring. So I understand it. But right now, with this attack, but just shoot. Just shoot and pray that it gets deflected or something. Because these attackers that we have were in trouble, though. And you know what's more concerning? I think there were reports, was it yesterday or today, that we're not going to sign a left winger. Did you see it?
I feel like that's one thing that I'm fine with. I feel like when I saw the preseason games, I know that Odegaard is young and he doesn't shoot. But I feel like the one thing that he has, he takes on his man. If you give him the ball, he has a lot more to offer than Johnson or Tell. I feel like Matthews Tell is more of a striker. I don't see him as a winger because he just can't dribble. And I feel like the one thing that I really like my wingers to do is go straight up, take your man, pass the ball, get rid of the ball, pass the ball in positions where you find your number nine so he can shoot. And I feel like when I saw the preseason games, I was expecting Odegaard to start today. But when I saw Johnson starting there, I'm like, has he signed some kind of like a contract at Spurs that he has to start all these big games? Like, what exactly is wrong with us? And I would not mind going into the season with Odegaard and Help as our left wingers. If you've seen Odegaard's games before he signed for Spurs, I think he was 19 or 18 when we signed him. I don't know his age, but his games at he was at Burnley before, right? That was the club that he was at before. Um, Tell me if I'm wrong, but whichever club he was at before, I've seen his clips. And the one thing he did before, did the same thing, dribble, take his man on. But the one thing that he did different was just take the shot. Once you're done dribbling, once you take your man, once you dribble through him, he took a shot. But right now, for some reason, lack of confidence, lack of skills, lack of brains, lack of feet. I don't know what the lack is, but he just won't take any shots. And I feel like Odegaard can be the next, I don't know, like Barcola. I don't know. I see him as a really good player, and I would not mind going into the season with just Odegaard. But I think the bigger problem than a left winger is the number nine and number 10. We need to get that sorted out. I do not care if we sign another number nine on top of Solanke and Richarlison, but we need a better number nine. Sign Wissa, get him. Wait for Richarlison's contract to, just be over. Let him go for free. I don't care about Richarlison because all he can do is talk. He doesn't play. So I wouldn't mind getting another striker and getting the number 10. I am fine with going with Odegaard as a left wing option. A lot of people would not agree to that, but I want to know your thoughts on that.
Okay. The thing about Odegaard is I've told you that I feel like he loses the ball too much, but I feel like he's coachable. I feel like he's like there's lots of room to improve. I feel like he could improve his physicality. I feel like his end product without a doubt. But this is one of those things where it makes you question Ange, because last year we could tell someone wasn't playing well, and somebody was meant to be being bedded in as the next left winger. And last season was the season. Now, this season, if we don't sign a left winger, I am 100.1% sure that by the end of the season, Odegaard is going to be our left winger. It can't be Matisse. And Matisse, as much as I like him as a person, as a footballer, Mat- see, I don't even want to start, because see that one-on-one that he missed that last game. I still like, do you know why that one-on-one can't leave my head? I saw him going through on goal, and something told me this guy is not going to score this thing. But I wanted to believe, I wanted to have faith in Matisse. I wanted to understand and see with my eyes what the Tottenham Hotspur recruitment team saw that they signed him for 50 million. And I said, let me believe. And the goalkeeper, he had all the time in the world, and he still saved it. And it wasn't like it was such a poor finish. It was so poor. So I know you say he's not a left winger. For me, I don't think he's a 9 either. He's not a left winger, he's not a 9. I don't know what he is. Whatever he is, he needs to go and figure it out. He needs to go and figure it out. Now, about the number 9. See this Richarlison guy here. He's like, you guys know, I don't know if they do this in America, but there are some very weird people who eat gum and then they put it on like the table or the chair or something weird like that. I don't know if they do that there. They do that.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah, that's very weird. I think it's very weird. But anyways, he's like a stock gum, yeah, and we need to scrape him off. We need to scrape him out of this club. He needs to be forced out. And how do you do that? There's nothing in this life Richarlison loves more than Brazil. This is a World Cup here. Tell him straight up, brother, we're signing a new striker and you're not going to play. You either leave or you don't play. And if you don't play, you don't play for Brazil. It's as simple as that. So you go and find your way. Go and find somewhere to play. Because that's the only reason. World Cup is the only reason why players like Grealish are considering moves to Everton. Do you get what I'm saying? This is a World Cup year, and which is why, regardless of everything anybody says, I still believe that if they tell Rodrigo, you don't have a spot in this team. It's a World Cup year. You need to play. He could come to Tottenham as well for 1 year on loan, just because it's a World Cup year. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I think about Richarlison. Now, concerning the 10, I still think that this guy can play in 10. Kudus. He can play in 10. So I'm not really panicking. But you see the rest of that front line. The rest is where the problem is. The rest.
I'm gonna stop you right there for a second, but
Mm.
well, we did not sign Kudus to solve the number 10 problems. We had problems in the right wing because Johnson is not good enough. The reason why we signed Kudus was because we needed right wing reinforcements, and we cannot now be like, okay, he can also play a cam. Well, with that logic, Johnson can also play right wing. He can also play left wing, but we cannot put Johnson as our main left winger because that's not what he's there for in the club. He should be our right wing, like backup option, but I do not want to see him as a starter. And Kudus, we signed him because we don't want to play Johnson as our starter option. So the problem was in the right wing. We signed it. We did not know that Son was going to leave the club, so we thought that left wing is pretty much good for us for the season. But now that Son has left the club, we should be going for players like Rafael Leao or. But did you see the recent interview with, I think, our manager? He mentioned that unless someone else leaves the club in the front line, maybe if Richarlison leaves the club or if anyone else leaves the club, only then we are going to find a left winger. We are not looking for a left winger anymore. So, our,
Said it
yes, and
like
Tottenham,
Thomas Frank said it.
Yes, if you look it up, is Spurs looking for a left winger? You'll see interviews where either Thomas Frank or Levy, one of them has mentioned that we are not looking for a left winger. Our priorities are a 10 and a center back is our priority. And he said that we needed a left back. Well, we needed a left back, and we are not signing a left back because Ben Davies is supposed to play as a backup left back when we don't have Udogi. So I do not know what this window is going to look like. I feel like there's a big problem with, I don't know, Vinay or Levy. I don't know who is managing the club anymore because I heard that Levy is not going to be the owner anymore. He's stepping down, or not the owner. Maybe he's not going to handle the transfer market. He's going to handle more of the business aspect of the club. But this has been the problem with Spurs ever since. We just don't get the job done. We just do not ever get the job done. And if you look it up, um, let me also find it with the um, Spurs top priority signings.
I find that very interesting if you say that because that's very bold. That's very bold, brave, anything you can say.
Yep.
Because everybody's watching this team and seeing that that attack we're in deep soup next season. And it's really interesting that we've been linked to this guy now,
What is the name? What was the
Nico
guy?
Paz.
What was it?
Nico Paz.
Oh yeah, it was.
Nico,
I think we got a bid rejected for 40 million for this guy this
yeah,
morning.
apparently. And his stats don't look good. And the first thing I always check whenever I check, like I start checking the player stats, I can and this is exactly what I was saying about Turkey. I can check like all the other things, but if this, what is it? This isn't there, it's a waste of time for me, honestly, because we're not a team that are going to be with the ball for like majority of the game. You wanted to say something? You can go.
No, it's what I want to say here is that there's again, I don't understand why we go for kids. It's been a problem of signing Kidzania for the past 2 years. I know we are trying to look for investments for the future, but we need to sort our present out first. We have the Champions League. We have 4 cups that we're going to play this season. We do not have anyone. And if you're still thinking about kids, I do not know. If we can spend 40 million on whatever his name is, Nico Paris, why can we not add 30 more and just sign a quality player like an Eze, or maybe get me a Grealish on loan? Don't sign him permanent. Wait for Madison to get better if he's ever getting better. And if he gets better, we can just send Grealish back to Man City wherever he belongs. But at least get him on loan. Get that deal done. Everton is looking to sign him on a loan deal, is what I saw on the news. But if Everton can do that, why can we not do that? Just go get the player. He's not going to prefer Everton over Spurs. Just sign a contract with Man City. Like, okay, he's on a $300,000, or not dollar, $300,000, £300,000 per week package, which is, I think, 100,000 more than what the highest paid earner at Spurs is. So just make a contract with Man City that, okay, you pay like 100,000 and we'll pay 200,000, and that way we can just keep him on loan for a season and get the cam position sorted out. Because without that creative aspect, I do not know where we are going, and we need more prem proven players. We can't just keep signing kids Zania, like I keep saying. Like, we have a lot of kids in the club right now. Most of our team is kids. We do not need more kids. And I feel like Jack Grealish at Man City has not had like the best season, but it's because he does not get a lot of chance to start in Man City. And the way Man City is built is for strikers like Holland to score the goals, and it's not meant for players like Grealish to, you know, win the ball and like dribble, score. It's designed in a way that strikers are supposed to score. But if you leave out his time at Man City, Grealish might be one of the best, you know, versatile players who can play cam and left wing both, hold the ball. And I think even if he's not the best option, he is better than what we have at the club right now. He is better than Sar. He is better than Bergwall, whoever, Frank is trying to play as a cam. I feel like if we have the option to get him on loan, we'll go and get him. If we have the money to spend 60 million on Gibbs White, if we wanted to sign a cam ever since, why are we not signing a cam when now we need a cam the most? We don't even have Madison now. We need a cam. Spend that 78 million, whatever Eze is worth right now. Just get him signed. I just don't know what is going on at this club. And it's just hard. Like I mentioned yesterday, that all these signings are like all secret. You don't know that the signing is going to be done until the signing reaches the final stages. It's just the way that we are doing signings. We don't want to inform our fans that okay, we are talking to a club or we are doing negotiations. Or it is just frustrating. It just shows lack of ambition. If I talk about Newcastle, they are doing it more publicly. Even if they're getting rejections from like Sesko or they're getting rejections from whoever they're trying to sign, at least they're showing their fans that they are passionate and they have that drive, they have that vision to sign good players and grow the club. Us as Tottenham fans, we just do not know what is happening, and we feel like there is a lack of ambition and a lack of evidence in what Levy says. Like he said he wants to win the Premier League, he wants to win the Champions League. Well, if we walk into the season with the team we have right now, rubbish. We are not winning shit. We got touched like a gal at a nightclub at Banana Island. We got touched by the Kidzania at Bayern today. We are not winning anything with this team. And I stick to what I said yesterday that we are finishing somewhat around 10 to 14 in the season if we walk in with the squad right now. God damn it, Kidzania, we are not winning with this. We are gonna get touched by more clubs. It is gonna happen. Watch us have the longest season because people will expect Spurs to perform because we have Champions League and we are not gonna deliver. And fans are gonna get frustrated. Same old story, same old Levy, and it's just there's so many things to just figure out right now. Just go and get the signings done and just do it for once. I don't know where the 100 million that we got from Harry Kane is. We got 100 million from Harry Kane.
We spent it on Madison, Van de Ven, and Bernard Johnson. Bernard Johnson was the Harry Kane replacement. You forgot it. I remember. Well, I will never forget that statement. Man, let me even check for it. That's the money is gone.
Well, if Johnson was the Kane replacement, why are we not playing him like for number 9? Why are we playing him as a winger? Oh my God, what are our scouts doing? Scouting Brennan Johnson as one of the replacements for Harry Kane is criminal.
This report, I will never forgive the person, the person that said this thing. I will never forgive. I can never forgive that person. No. I will never forget this statement. I can't forget it. That was it. It was the Harry Kane replacement. That's him. The guy who won us the Europa League.
Just doesn't make sense because Madison is wearing Harry Kane's number. He is not. So how is he the replacement of Harry Kane? And even if he is, why is he playing as a winger? Why is he not playing as a striker? Absolute rubbish. Like, I don't know what our scouts are doing. Just fire them. What are the kind of players that we're scouting? Like Johnson, like really? And you can tell me, I think we can agree on this. We spent 60 million on Solanke, 65. I don't know how much we spent on him. Do you think Solanke is worth 60, 65 million? I feel like if we had that 60 to 65 million with us right now, oh, there's so many players that we can sign with that. I don't think Solanke is any close to 60 million valuation. If we got him for like 40 million, I would give it. But 60, 65 million for Solanke was absolute rubbish money spent. I agree that we do spend money, but where are we spending this money? Brennan Johnson, Solanke is good, but I'm saying he's not worth 60 million. And we spend that money on Bargwall, Archie Gray, 45 million, I guess. Is he worth 45 million? Well, there's so many more players that we can get for 45 million. Like, I don't understand why we spend decent amount of money on Kidzania. And Archie Gray has never even played as a CM. His position is CM. He's never even played that last season. All he played was center back. I don't know. We make signings, we don't even play them in the positions they're supposed to play. I just am so infuriated. I think I'm talking on behalf of like every other Spurs fan who is just like so frustrated by the club. But we need to see that change and ambition. I'm just tired of seeing the same old Spurs. And I'm so close to burning my sports like jersey. I'm so close to burning the Spurs jersey.
Oh my god.
I can't even like I can't even like talk enough about it.
You know the thing? Honestly, yeah, I was against this Grealish signing. I didn't want it. But after watching today, eh, I noticed that the only time we were able to carry the ball out today was with Kudus. And they were double marking, triple marking him, and pinning him down. So we use the likes of Brennan and Richarlison to try to take the ball out. Because they know that every time we use those two, we will lose the ball. And having like now that like I have more context, I think that having a Jack Grealish to do these evil things here. Yeah, you can see my screen. These evil things that he does, these things, these carries alongside a Kudus, especially when like there are so many games when you may not necessarily be the best, but having a player that could take away pressure, and that's what Grealish does. Like he just carries the ball and gets a foul and just makes everything stop start until the other team lose momentum. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like that would do us the world of good having a player like Grealish.
Exactly. My whole thing is why are we complaining about getting Grealish or anyone? Do we have anyone on the team right now that is better than Grealish? I don't think we do. Exactly. So why do we have a problem with getting someone who will walk straight into the first team, make it even 1% better? I feel like this has been the problem with Spurs fans. I think at some point we were also complaining about really good players coming in. Um, I think we also had mixed opinions about Kudus, that oh he's just done and dusted. I don't think he's good enough. The fans they had mixed opinions about Kudus as well. I also think that he's not the best winger there is, but he is better than what we had. He is better than a Brennan nonsense. So I would take him any day. And the fact that Grealish is better than Asar at a cam position, that way we can move Sar to a CM position and actually let him play where he belongs. I feel like we should not have any problems, even if it's a loan deal. He makes our team better.
I agree with you. I agree with you. The other player that I want to talk about is Shalanke. So you said, do I think he's a 65 million player? No. But for context, I think he was coming off the back of 19 goals that season, and he's homegrown and English, and he's English to English club. So you would have to pay inflated prices because they know you have money. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
my
yeah.
concern is if you had 65 million to spare, why Solanke? Like,
Which striker would you have gone for?
well, I feel like if you had 10 more million on it, I think Vlahovic was having his good season around that time. Oh, was this
Let me
like
check.
when we signed Solanke? Like, it's been a year since we signed him, or more than a year. Not exactly sure, but there's so many striker options around. the 75 to 80 million range. I feel like if we could spend 10 more million, we could have got so much like better stats, better player. If we can spend 65 million, we can spend 75 million. So my problem is if we can spend 65 million for Solanke, just put that money somewhere that is a much better quality and that we know will add much more value. Do you think Solanke is the right replacement for Kane? Well, Harry Kane was he could also like he was like a complete package. He could shoot, he could also dribble, he could pass, he could do everything. Why not get someone closer to a Harry Kane when we got 100 million for Harry Kane? Well, why not get
Mm,
someone who is closer to a Harry Kane than a Dominic Solanke?
mm,
That's my whole problem.
mm. Understand what you mean. Understand what you mean. Um, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I just feel like a lot of this, the striker market was very dead. The best striker on the market at that point in time, in my opinion, was Ivan Toney. And maybe Gyökeres. Maybe. And that's if he would want to come to Spurs. Do you get what I'm saying? And Tony went to Saudi and Gyökeres stayed. And I don't think Sheshko would have made too much of a difference. I think that he's still very raw, especially his finishing. So yeah, and now we're being linked to the likes of Jackson. If Richarlison leaves, I don't think Jackson is a bad player, but like if goal scoring is our problem, I don't think Jackson is the solution. So yeah, like he's good at everything but goal scoring. So
Yeah, that's true. I also feel like being Spurs fans for a long time, we have good history, and we are playing Champions League. I feel like that gave us so much hope. But
mm,
we also have to realize that I don't think we are as attractive of a club anymore. I don't feel
mm,
like players want to join Spurs um, just because of the fact that we finished 17, and not just that, but we have been on a decline for the past 2 seasons. We are not a growing club per se. We have been on a decline. We are not doing good, and just winning the UEL is not enough of a reason to attract players because we won against Manchester United. Oh my God, that was Manchester divided. That was man divided last year. They were not the best team to win the UEL against. So that's not a good reason for us to say that um, we are a good club anymore. I feel like we have been on a decline, and to get better players, I think this season has to be a buffer season, and we have to just play with the players we have got, perform better, and show the world that we are not declining anymore, and that we have that ambition still. We're growing, and that we can still sign players. I just don't feel like we are as attractive anymore. We'll talk about the Gibbs White deal. Almost went through. I feel like any player would have put in a transfer request and just joined Spurs if they were that ambitious about joining Spurs and being like playing Champions League. Look at Isak. Like Liverpool has not even like signed him yet, or they're not close to signing him, but there are talks going on. But look at him; he's putting in. He's not going to trainings. He's, um, you know, he might as well just put a transfer request. Look at Gyökeres; he wanted to join Arsenal so bad. Gibbs White did not do anything like that to join Spurs. It's because we are just not as attractive anymore, and we just need to have a better season. And I completely blame Ange Postecoglou for the decline that we had last season. Finishing 17th is not justified. I think that costed us so many good players this season. We could have attracted so many good players, but sadly, we are on a decline, and we just have to come to terms with that. And I feel like this season is just going to be a hard season for us once again.
and signing the likes of Odobe and Brennan Johnson, I would never forgive him for that. Yes, I forgive him because he won the Europa League. But see these signings, every time I watch these signings, And every time I watch these players, like I was talking to my sister today, and I told her that I think that sometimes when I don't watch Spurs, I forget how bad Spurs are. And then when I watch Spurs, all the time I'm just like, oh my god, we are so shit, we are so shit, we are so shit. But then when I don't watch Spurs, I'm like, I can't wait to watch Spurs. Yes, I can't wait to watch Spurs. And then I watch Spurs, and it's like, yeah, this is not what I was expecting. Like we're so poor, we're very poor. I would not forget that Brendan Johnson. I have an agenda against Brendan Johnson. Like genuinely, anybody wants to call it an agenda, I accept. I have a problem with Brendan. Like you see, the fact that I can remember the headline and the things that this reporter said that he was the Harry Kane replacement. Like that far, I can remember every detail that has to do with Brendan Johnson because do you know how much this signing pisses me off? Like every time I watch him, I just laugh. I just laugh whenever I watch him because I'm like, we spent 47.5 million. I know the exact amount. That's the exact amount. 47.5 million. That's basically half of the Harry Kane money on Brennan Johnson. On Brennan Johnson.
Would you if you had a choice, would you like swap Ben and Johnson with, I don't know, like a Lookman from Atlanta, and just give Johnson and pay like an extra 20 million, 25 million, and get Lookman from Atlanta?
Honestly, the funny thing is about Lukman is that when Lukman was in wow, look at his shooting stats. When Lukman was in the Premier League, he didn't necessarily play the best football. And I feel like Atalanta, for what everybody wants to say about Atalanta, Atalanta under is he Gasperini? I think it's Gasperini. They were more of a transitional side, not necessarily a possession heavy side. Like I don't know if Lukman is the best take on person, and I know he's Nigerian, but I don't even watch him necessarily. Like I don't necessarily watch him, so I can't even come here and say, "Oh, I know this or I know that." But from what I know about Atalanta, I know they were a transitional side, and flourishing in a transitional side, e.g., Brennan Johnson, doesn't mean that you can convert that into a possession heavy side, as you've seen with the likes of Brennan. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know, honestly.
I feel like you said, I also have something against Brennan Johnson. I just rubbish player. I just do not like him. I just get so frustrated when I see him on the starting lineup. I'm like, why is he on our team? Like, just sell this guy, throw him away for trash. Like, 12 touches in the whole first half. That's criminal. 12 touches. When even the defenders had more than 20 touches. It's just criminal. And I feel like he's just taking that spot up in the squad where we could have maybe another young talent and just grow that young talent instead of Brennan Johnson, because I just don't know where Johnson fits. I just don't know what his profile is. I just don't know what his relevance is as a football player. I just don't know what he's solving at Spurs. There is no problem that he's solving. I just don't get his relevance in the club.
Listen here, when it comes to Brennan, see, honestly, I don't see. I don't rate him. It's very clear. So I feel you. That's all I can tell you. I understand. See the pain when you watch him. I understand because I have a friend that's an Arsenal fan, and I don't know if he's always trolling me, but he always comes to me whenever Brennan Johnson scores, and he'll come to my comments. I say he'll come to my comments. He'll come to our private chat, and he'll be like, "Guy, Brennan scored. I told you this guy is good," and I'm like, "Yeah, he scores." Like, do you know how bad a player has to be for him to score the amount of goals Brennan scored, and us still be having a conversation that this guy is not good? Do you know how insane that is? Like that's what I was trying to explain to him. I told him that. Okay. I've been telling you Brennan Johnson is bad. Let me tell you how bad Brennan is. This guy, um, Thomas Frank came into Tottenham. Thomas Frank wanted this guy at Brentford. He came into Tottenham, and the first thing he did was to sign a new right winger. That should tell you. And Brennan was our top scorer last year. That should tell you everything. See, if that doesn't sum up Brennan Johnson, nothing. See, nothing I ever say will convince anybody again. That's exactly why I told him that. That's as simple as it. That's as simple as anybody needs any. But let's try to. I want us to build a team together with a new
Let's do it.
formation
All right.
because I really we need to rectify this problem because we have a real problem with Tottenham Hotspur right now. And the more this PSG game comes, or the closer it comes, the more alarmed I am. And I genuinely think that if we're not able to sign a a an attacking player, at least one, then we genuinely should change the formation. So what do you think we go with? Do you think we should go with a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3? Let's start with that.
I feel like 3-5-2. Who would you put as those two who are playing ahead? We don't have two good players, or you can argue that Matthijs Tel and Solanke can do that.
God forbid. God forbid. But no, God forbid. Funny enough, I think I know the perfect two. Should I tell you why? I would
Mhm.
rather have Kudus holding up the ball than
Yeah,
Solanke. I would rather have Kudus holding up the ball for me than Solanke because when Solanke first came to Spurs, he was holding up the ball well, but like I don't know if he's playing with Madison or whatever. But as he has been playing with Madison, now he's not him. He's on the floor. He's on the floor. I don't know why. I don't know why. He was so strong before. He was hard to foul and whatever. He will run, you foul him, you get up again, you continue. But now, any small thing, he's down on the floor. He's down on the floor. Like a princess. I don't want any of that to my team. I want men. And that's why I'm happy. No homo. But that's why I'm happy with the signings of the likes of Paulinia, the likes of Kudus, because these are guys that are strong. And we need to make this team strong. We have too many Brendan Johnsons. Yeah, he's gone, he's a legend, whatever. But Human Sons, these guys are too lightweight. We need men. Men.
I agree. I agree.
I, I
Let's
think
let's
that
let's,
would
let's
rather
pick 3-5-2 then. Yeah, let's pick 3-5-2.
okay. Let's see. Who is our goalkeeper?
Oh, come on. There's no other goalkeeper. I'm not going with Kinski. Oh my god. That guy
He's
is
a very bad
absolutely
goalkeeper.
I
He's a
can't I
bad
can't
goalkeeper.
see him. I can't. The thing is his distribution is good, but everything else so rubbish. I feel like what was that one game where I just saw him play and I was like, why is he playing for us? Like I forgot the game, but whatever. Let's not get into that. Vicario is my goalkeeper for
Who
sure.
is, who is our center back?
If you're playing three at the back, I would still let's go with Danso.
Do you think that if we're playing three at the back, since we're playing three at the back, you would take Dragoshin over Romero?
I don't know about Dragoshin. I have not seen him play enough. I feel like to see what kind of player he is. He
Mm.
just never had that game time. But I feel like I could choose between Danso and Dragoshin, but I would keep Romero and Van de Ven for sure.
Okay.
I
So
feel like
Romero
yeah, we
at the
need
back.
that personality on the team like Romero too. Sometimes boost the players, and Van de Ven for sure left center back.
Right wing back, Pedro
Kudus.
Porro,
Oh, let's
Pedro
do
Porro.
Kudus. Let's do Kudus.
Kudus.
Where are you gonna play him then? If not,
So me, I was going to go for Porro and Udogi.
right.
Then Kudus at the nine, Kudus and Brennan. So Kudus is holding up the ball, laying it up for Brennan to run onto.
I kind of low-key was thinking about this. I like that. I was thinking there's been speculations of people saying, why don't we ever try Pedro Porro as a CM? Because
God
if
forbid.
you
No,
have you seen his ball
no,
distribution? Have you seen his
he's too
crossing?
small. They'll bully him. They'll
I
bully
was
him. I'm not joking. Physically.
okay. I think I'll go with your Pedro Porro right wing back and Udogi left wing back. If we have Udogi, he's currently injured, but
I don't even. Okay, I'll just go with Udogi. Now, this midfield three is very interesting.
mhm.
So, who do you go with? Here is Paulinia. I think we would agree. The
Yeah,
center one.
depending on the game, I feel like if it's a more attacking, more fast-paced game,
Mm.
I think I would pick a Bergwall or a Sar.
As a six,
I think he replaced Paulinho today in the game as a six, but he doesn't
okay.
play as a six. He plays as an eight. Technically, he's not a six. So,
So,
depending on the
so you
game,
don't think he is a six?
I
Like,
think I would go with
who would be your midfield three?
for a normal game. I feel like I would go with Paulinho for sure. Um, let's just go Paulinho, and all right, and I want to
These remaining two.
just with the current
Our midfielders are
players,
so bad.
I would think we have to go with one of them has to be Sar. I don't think we have anyone else who's better than Sar.
And then,
And Bentancur.
who are the other midfielders we have?
Oh, was
We
that
have
again?
Archie Gray. We have, I said, what are the other midfielders we have? We have Archie Gray. We
Yeah.
have Bergvall.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do we have? Bentancur.
Bentancur, Archie Gray, Bergwall, and that's
Bissouma.
Bissouma. But I think he's linked with some Saudi clubs. He's going to leave this
Mm.
season for sure. So I don't count him in our team right now. I just he's also one of the more rubbish players that we have in the team. We have to get rid of
We
him.
have a lot of them.
Yeah,
A lot of them that are rubbish.
right. And like
Right?
Bergwall and Archie Gray can be like the backup options for Sar and Bentancur and Paulinho, whatever we can say.
I genuinely think that this should be the way we go against against
Oh, you picked Brendan
PSG,
Johnson over Solanke?
without a doubt. Without a doubt. See, let me tell you, yeah, if he's running onto a ball,
Mm-hmm.
I can assure you that Brennan will do well at that. But if you tell Brennan, this is your man, beat him, I will give you $1 billion. He can't do it to save his life. He can't. He can't do it. And that's why he looked good at Forest. Because they played him to his strengths. Like, if this guy was at Forest now, everybody would be saying, Brennan Johnson, Brennan Johnson, Brennan Johnson. But now you're telling him, and that's what I like pisses me off about Ange. Because we're playing a low block. We're going to play low blocks. We're going to force teams to defend. The whole idea and philosophy was to attack wave after wave. And if you're attacking wave after wave, it means that the team is going to be defending wave after wave, which will force them into a low block. That's why clubs like City always play low blocks, because they hold the ball so much and then they force you into a low block. And if you're going to force teams into a low block, you need players that can unlock that low block, right? Or maybe I'm some genius. Maybe I just figured that out. Maybe I couldn't. And I genuinely don't think that Brennan Johnson is that profile of player. So I like, by all everything in my bone, I don't understand this signing. Like, till tomorrow, I would not be able to comprehend it. I would not. I, ah, God.
Well, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. Just keep talking to the chat. I'll come back in two
All right,
minutes.
no problem. All right, no problem. But yeah, I think that this would be the way to go against this would be the way to go against PSG, because I think that PSG midfield would eat us alive. PSG versus Chelsea, that PSG midfield will eat us alive, and the only chance we would have of beating PSG will be on the break in transition. And I genuinely think that if we try to do a 4-2-3-1, especially without Madison, no creative player, they will eat us alive. Because we've seen in a lot of the preseason games that we played that we struggle to play out of the back. The ball doesn't come out of the back. We struggle with that. We struggle to move the ball from the midfield or from the defense to the attack. We struggle with that, and we need to find other ways to create, which is why I think that this would be our favorite formation. So instead of trying to create through here when we don't have any creative midfielders and forcing Sar to be a 10, we create from here and here. And then we have you doing your tap-ins, and you can also come here and shoot as well. And it becomes a 4. it can become a 4, and it can become a 3, like this. Like if we're playing a lesser team, we sort of like squeeze them in. And if you want to be crazy and go ultra attacking, Van de Ven can make one of those is crazy runs here to be another option, and then it turns to a back two like this with Paulinia sitting. And then Satu can also come in if we're playing like some of the lesser teams, and then you just like make it ultra attacking. Okay, I just went on it very crazy. Let me show you my thought process. Let me reorganize it for you. So I was talking about how if like because of how we have a creativity issue right now, it would be best to use this. And if we use this, now we're creating from these sides. And if we're creating from these sides and you're going to be like crossing balls, Kudus and Johnson aren't very good aerial threats. So it's going to be low crosses. So he can also do his tap-ins. We could also do transitional football. So maybe passes in behind and then for Johnson to run onto or Kudus to run onto. Or you could use Kudus to hold up the ball, give the ball, overload the midfield, give them the ball, give it to Pedro Porro, cross it for this guy or this guy to run and like have a pop shot from around this area. Or there's also like if we're playing like a low block, Kudus can come forward as well with Brennan. Then Udogi is here, Poro is here, and because of we're using a back three, we can commit Bentanco and Pepe Matassa as well to the attack. And then if like it's still not working, you can do Rodrigo in the 10, Paulina here, and then Van de Ven can come here as well. Then Danso and Romero come here with this, still forming the 3. So these 3 don't go forward. And then we have players all around here. So if we lose the ball, you can easily recover it because you have so many numbers like in and around there. And if they beat this, then you still have this, this, and this at the back. And considering that we're going to be playing these people, if we try to do what we did today, which was wait, let me this was wait, let me okay, I'm coming. If we did this, it was a back four. God, I'm a bit confused on what I've done here, but okay. Then it was this two as a double pivot, this guy in 10. We had one guy here, we had one guy here, and we had a
But I can't
nine.
see your screen where you're making the changes.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Um, thank you. How do I change this thing now? How do I change? Remove. Okay. So who played 9 today? Who was our 9?
Richie.
Richarlison.
Yeah.
He didn't even stamp himself in my memory. He was that bad. Anyways, and we had Spence here.
What do you think about Spence today? I feel like sometimes he just overdoes, over dribbles, and tries to overrun his man. I think we conceded one goal that Coleman, like I think Coleman got the ball from him, and he shot. It was because of Spence, because he was trying to over dribble, and I feel like he's a really good defender, but the way he just gives away the ball, again, the same problem like Odegaard, like the way he just gives away the ball is criminal.
Don't you think that has in some ways because of the winger that he has with him? Brendan Johnson can take on a man to save his life. Somebody has to do it because those men on the left side, that Spence's side, they are not just magically going to disappear. Somebody has to take them on. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, can you really blame him for wanting to take his man on?
I feel like there's times when you have to dribble and take the responsibility, and there's times where you're just being stubborn and you're being stupid. And I feel like sadly he was a part of the latter where it was just not required. He had options to pass, and he just tried to dribble the man and just lost the possession. I feel like this is not the first time he's done it. It's a lot of games where he tries to over dribble, and
Mm.
that's the one thing that Udogi does not do. Whenever he dribbles, he makes sure that he's getting past his man.
Mhm.
So, but again, he's a young player. He has to learn so much more. Uh, Overall, he's a good player. But yeah, we can go back to uh, the formation.
So this thing here, this thing that we did today, if we use this thing against PSG, this place, they will eat us alive for breakfast. Because not only are we going to not touch the ball, when we touch the ball, we can't even get out because we have zero creativity. And that's one thing that Gibbs White was going to give us. So, as much as a lot of people as much as a lot of people want to say, oh, Gibbs White this, Gibbs White that, the one thing Gibbs White was going to give us was long range passing. So you don't necessarily need to, like, I have this very weird idea of football. And I say weird because a lot of people these days might not necessarily resonate with it. A lot of people want to have the ball. The way I see football, I like I coached or I managed a team in my school tournament in my final year in university. I'm done now. I finished a year ago now. And when managing the team, my whole idea, I wanted to bypass the midfield. So I didn't want to play through the midfield because I didn't feel like our midfield was strong enough. So the idea was to bypass the midfield. And how do you do that? By playing long
So
to attack.
something like a Jurgen Klopp kind of a gameplay under Liverpool.
Yeah, like very direct football. Very
I
direct
get
football.
it. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. And I think that considering we don't have the best midfielders, and now we don't have players that can help us bypass the midfield, like a Gibbs White. Gibbs White is somebody that would help us do that because Adam Watson too as well. Like these players that they just pass above everybody else and just straight to the attackers. Like your midfielders are basically rendered useless. Like one pass and they are running back trying to catch up. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you use, since you don't have that, trying to use the wing backs here and here to create is the only option we have because we have zero creativity coming from that middle. Like zero. Bentancur is not going to do it. Sa cannot do it. Paulina cannot do it. So we have to find another way. And if we go to that game playing a 4-2-3-1 against PSG, because I love what Thomas Frank said, and he spoke about how the PSG game isn't about philosophy, isn't about anything. We want to win. And we're going to do, he said, I think he literally said, we're going to do whatever we can to win. That is what it's about. It's about winning. You can already tell that this guy is preparing for an absolute sin. He's preparing for sin. What he's going to do in that game is going to be sin. I'm not even joking. It's sin. It's going to be sin. It's going to be score one goal. What Ange did in the Europa League final. We defended for the second 45, basically.
Yeah, we parked the bus. I feel like I like your formation. I like the idea. That's what I was thinking about. But my
The
problem,
3-5-2.
yes, but my problem again with this, who is going to finish that? Who is going to shoot? Who is going to score? Johnson cannot play aerial balls. He cannot
You have to
play
believe in
balls.
R9. We have R9. Believe.
We just can't finish. You know, we lost Madison, Son, and Kulusevski, which combined is 68 goals and assists per annum. And that is their contribution to the team. 68 goals per annum. We just lost that. Um, I don't know what have we done to replace that because Johnson is not the answer. Solanke, Richarlison, Johnson, they are not the answers. And I feel like even if we play a 3-5-2, we need to sign a number 9 that can finish. We need to get a Wissa that can replace the Johnson in this formation. I don't feel like this is a good formation. It's better than the 4-3-3 that we play. But again, there is no number 9 to finish. There is no one to shoot. Who is going to take the responsibility and like win the aerial balls or like I feel like this is the team that I would want to see. If not Eza, I would like to see Wissa at least. And like I'm just saying Wissa as like an example. Just any number 9 that is better than Solanke and Johnson. But I also want you to, after we're done with 3-5-2, I also want you to go back and make a 4-3-3 that we have right now, and make a formation that would be the ideal lineup for next season. Because I know that we're not going to do a 3-5-2. This is just Spurs fans hoping that we do that, but we're not going to do that. So sticking to a 4-3-3, I want us to make the ideal formation that includes at least one new signing that would fix the formation.
He scored 20 goals last season.
The only problem
20
is,
goals.
yeah, the only problem, I think he's 29 years old, and I don't think Spurs want to spend that much money on someone who's that old. But again, he's better than whatever we've got. So just go and get the job done. Just sign him for fuck's sake.
20 goals at Brentford.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And he's available for, I think, 40 million. It's not even that much. Just give them a Johnson, pay 20 more million, and get that whistle. Just get that whistle.
Okay, you know what? Let's do the lineup build up. You said a 4-3-3.
Because I know for sure that we're not going to do a 3-5-2. I know Thomas Frank, he's going to stick to a 4-3-3 for next season.
Honestly, it breaks my heart because we have zero creativity. We have Kulu out, we have Madison out, we have everybody out. We have nothing. We have nothing. The only creative players we have in this team right now, the only creative player, not even players. Two, one is Pedro Porro.
Pedro Porro is the only creative player. I agree.
That's the only one.
hmm There's no one
We're
else.
so finished.
To some extent, I would say Kudus and Pedro Porro. They might be the only two creative players in our team. No one else. Unfortunately.
All right, let's try the first.
Yeah, well, if you're doing 4-3-3, of course.
What type of 4-3-3? Do you think that if we played this, like there are different types of 4-3-3 that I play? So
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
threes that I play. Like you use two DMs. There's some where you use two CMs, and the CMs like is really attacking. When I have a lot of attacking players, and I know they are not really good defensively, I just go gun hold like Ange style,
right.
all guns blazing, all guns blazing. So
I'm
what
gonna
type of 4-3-3?
assume I'm gonna assume that Spurs is gonna get a number 10 by the end of the window, because that is what Spurs is looking to sign right now. So I'm gonna
So
stick with
Nico Paz,
no. This would be like Palinia is like a CDM, number 6, and then we get two like CMs. I would play like two CMs and one cam. That's what I want to play.
two CMs and one cam. So like
Yes,
an attacking 4-3-3, yeah.
right.
All right.
So like yeah, and I would play Palinia instead of Sar in the back, yeah,
Hmm.
and just take Sar off the lineup right now. Just like let's let's assume that
Let me
um
just refresh.
yeah,
Let's do it again from the
it's
beginning.
4-3-3, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
okay. So I have to add a player first. So there's what's his name?
Palinia and I would play Bentancur on the left. And back four or back five, whatever you can say, it's going to be the same. Wanda went Romero, Oro, Udogi, and Vicario.
It's going to be Spence though. Dog is out injured. It's not
Okay,
even
yeah, we can say Spence for now, yeah, and Romero.
where is he?
Oh, there on top, yeah, and Oro.
Who is the 10?
Now that's a good question. I'm gonna not be as ambitious. Like I said, I'm gonna assume that we're gonna sign someone before the PSG game, a number 10, because we bloody need it. So let's say we go with a loan deal. Have you heard
Really?
about? Yeah, or have you also heard about the rumors with El Canus? He's from Brighton. We are linked with
No,
him.
no, no. Leicester.
Oh,
Leicester.
Leicester, yeah,
Is that Leicester?
Leicester, yeah. Um,
Bilal, I love his name. Bilal El Kanous.
El
I
Canus,
love
yeah.
it. I
My
love
only
it.
problem with him is another Kidzania. He's like
Mm.
their Kidzania. I don't like him. He's a good player,
Mm.
but again, for Spurs, he's not a good fit. Let's be a bit ambitious,
You
but
know
not
what's
too
funny?
ambitious.
Out of all the players I watched at Brighton last year, I said Brighton. Why did I say? You see, you made me say Brighton. Out of
Yeah,
all the players I watched at Leicester last year,
yeah,
the one that I would have taken was actually Banonote
hmm
from Brighton. Do you know
hmm
him?
yeah,
He looked like under. I think they had two managers. They had the former Nottingham Forest manager. What's his name again? That guy that got sacked.
yeah.
Nottingham
You know,
Forest
I'm not
manager.
on top of my head. Yeah,
I can't even remember his name. But you know the guy I'm talking about now. They had him,
yeah,
and then they
yeah,
fired him, and then they got Van Nistelrooy. And
yeah.
under the first manager, Steve Cooper, yes, Steve Cooper.
hmm
Under Steve Cooper, Banonote was the one that they were using as the 10. But when Cooper left, Van Nistelrooy favored El Canus.
hmm
But in my opinion, while I think El Canus is a good player, I would still have, from what I saw, Banonote. I think he's top.
hmm
I think he's top. And it's very interesting that nobody is talking about him. And that's because he had a good first half of the season, and then a new manager came and somebody ended it well. And he was out of the team because El Canus was the one playing things like that. But I just find that really, really interesting. But yeah, so who would you go as your 10?
Well, the ideal signing would be just Eze playing as a cam, and then
Never happened. Forget it.
moving to a left wing whenever Madison comes back, if he ever comes back, or whenever Kulu comes back, he plays cam and Eze goes to left wing. But I'm gonna be realistic. I know my chairman. He's not gonna buy Eze. He's just a bitch. I feel like we're gonna go with Grealish as a cam on a loan deal. Let's go Grealish.
Hello. Oh, hi. I got the email.
And on the left wing, I would go with Odegaard. I know that's not the best option right now, but he's better than Johnson. Come on.
That's okay. That's no. I have
Um,
my card.
and I feel like Solanke was available for this game as well against Bayern Munich, but they didn't put him in the squad just for fitness problems, I guess. But I feel like he's going to be available for the PSG game.
Mm.
So I would go with Solanke over Richarlison any day. And I feel like,
You okay, go on, go on.
yeah, just I feel like this squad is much better than what we had today. If we swap in Solanke for Richarlison, Solanke also to some extent holds the ball and passes the ball at least. He doesn't lose the ball.
Mm.
And I feel like Odegaard will have much more, runs to make and like one on one and beat the man. And Grealish can also help us hold the ball, win some free kicks in the final third. And just, I feel like this is a much better team than what we had today.
Do you think that with this team, and that's if people stay fit, we might surprise a lot of people? Because this team genuinely doesn't look bad. Like, it looks a lot better than what I saw this afternoon. And
Exactly.
that's just taking out
Right.
Richarlison.
Exactly. And then you have options like
And
Sar and
Saka.
Bergwall to come in after 60 minutes, to just boost and just win the ball in the final third. Just, keep doing counterattacks. And, oh, you missed the keeper, by the way. You don't have Vicario on there.
Ah,
Yeah. But I feel like with this team,
we have
and
Polinia now. We go to the keeper.
that's true. But I feel like with this team, and if we sign, if we are ambitious, and if we sign either a number nine or a left winger, I think we can surprise. For example, if we sign Wissa, if most ideal situation, and he comes in instead of Solanke, I feel like we can actually surprise a lot of teams. And maybe we're not going to win the Premier League or Champions League, but we can be competitive, give teams a hard time. Nobody can just touch us like Bayern Munich touched us today. So this is a much more balanced team than what we had today.
I think it's not even just about like even signings. I think that a little change like this change here would really unlock Odobe because Udogi is the kind of winger that likes to come here, wing back that likes to come here. And from what we've seen in preseason, due to Pedro Porro's passing range, the manager, when we're in possession, it turns to this. And because of Pedro Porro has the passing range, he can still contribute to the attack from deep. Do you get? So if Udogi is able to do this, it means Odobe comes here, which is where Thomas Frank wants his winger to be, more of an inside forward. If you check Mbuemo's hit map, Shade's hit map, is they're coming in. So if he's coming here, remember the whole high volume XG, high value XG thing inside the box, and Udogi is now here. And then Jack is also here, causing mayhem. And now Jack is attracting like what, 2-3 players to himself. We also have this one too that attracts like 2-3 players to himself. Naturally, this one is free, or this one is free, or this one sneaks into the box. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, even like a little change like that can really take us to a whole new level.
Exactly.
It's also us being fit.
Exactly. We are one injury away from just being a disaster. Just one injury away. If Wandowen is injured, we got Danso there. Not too bad, but I feel like in a Frank setup, if we have any of the back four injured, we should be fine. If you have a Romero or Wandowen injured, we have Danso to cover that up. And at some point, we also have Dragushin to cover that up. And I feel like just the fact that Palinia is also there to support the back four, I feel like defensively we are not looking too bad. I feel like for us, if Kudus is injured, then we have a Johnson there, which completely messes up the front line.
Yep.
Completely messes up the front line.
To
And
make you watch.
exactly,
Let me add another one.
Matthew Stel.
His twin brother.
I
Yes.
feel like he's the same level of Odobert. I feel like Tell and Odobert are kind of similar. So if he play, I would
Don't
actually
do
prefer.
that. Don't you dare, Shanta. Don't you dare. I have my problem with Odobe, but comparing him to Matisse, no, that's criminal. That's criminal.
I feel
This
like
guy,
I would play Tell over Johnson on the right wing if I had the choice.
let me show you. Let me show you. Look at, look at, look at, look at.
Are these the stats over like the course of his whole career, or just Spurs, or just
No,
Bayern Munich?
365 days. Last 365 days.
Oh, that's the Spurs, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Well, then Spurs, I feel like we haven't even used him, like we should use him. I feel like
See that one-on-one he missed. That showed me more than enough. I don't want to use him anymore.
the same way I can give the benefit of doubt to Matthew Stowe, the way I'm giving it to Paulinia. I feel like Matthew Stowe, he, I feel like it's been his first good game, or like a big game after a long time. I don't think he got enough starts, and the players he was playing again with, like the players he was playing with last season, just say fucking Johnson, Richarlison. That is not the front line that you want to play with. Well, now that you have options to play with Kudus, you have options to play with Odobert, and potentially if we sign a Grealish, you play with these three. It opens your potential up even more. Okay, there's no
I have a
justifying to
question
how
for
he
you.
missed it. Yeah,
What do you think is Matisse ceiling as
I
a
feel
player?
like I think he's more of like a striker. He's not a winger.
No, like if you were to compare him to a player, like wait, how good do you think he can be? Like whose level?
As of now, I don't compare him to anyone but Odobert. But
No, like potentially. I mean potentially. Like, do you think that he can reach like Son heights or something crazy like that? Where do you think is his level?
I could be Son and Odobert, or Son and Matthew
Son.
are two. I'm saying Son and Tel are completely two different profiles. So I can't compare him to a Son, because Son is more of like a. I think he was during his days. He's more of a dribbler and just shooting. Matthew Tel, I feel like if you get him the ball in the final third, he can just turn the ball, take the shot. I feel like I compare Matthew's Tell to more of like a.
Rashford.
I was gonna say Rashford. I was gonna say
I understand
Rashford.
what you mean.
That's a
I
good
understand.
comparison. But again, Rashford is more of like a winger who plays more centrally. Um,
Mm.
Matthew still is just he's not a winger. He's just a I can say he's like a false nine. He's like a not even a complete striker because he likes to play with the ball. He likes to dribble. He likes to cut that ball in and then shoot. I would compare him. I guess Rashford is a good comparison.
Honestly, yeah, this is giving me the same vibes as United fans, like the way United fans feel about what's this brother's name? Xerxes. They call him a
Desserts.
nine and a half.
Nine
Nine and a half.
and a half. Yeah.
That's what they call him. It's the same vibe. We don't even know what he is. Speaking of United, do you want to keep on talking about Spurs or should we divert?
We can divert. I'm
Because
so tired of crying about Spurs. I just know nothing's gonna happen. We just have to deal with it.
honestly, at this point, I seem to forget who won the Europa League because it looks to me like it wasn't us that won the Europa League.
It
It
was
looks
Man
like
U. Yeah.
Manchester United that won the Europa League.
Yeah.
And if they sign Baliba, I might as well just go and become a United fan because I genuinely think that they have an outside shot for top five.
Yeah.
And people might think I'm crazy, and I've been saying this. I've been saying this thing since. Like I've been making videos on there's still hope for United since, and or the few times that I've made videos because I've not been consistent. But and somebody will watch that video and think I'm crazy and wonder what am I saying. But I'm telling you that this United side playing one game a week, there's something to fear. Likes of Bruno playing one game a week. And it's not just about them playing one game a week, it's about the ripple effect. Not being in the Champions League this year is one of the best things they've been able to do. And because of how much cost cutting they've done, Man U already generates so much money. And now they're trying to turn Man U into a money making powerhouse on and off the field. So they're trying to build a new stadium and all these things that they're trying to do. But like, even aside from the stadium, in order for the team to sell, Man U already sells, but nothing will sell better than a good playing Man U. So now they know that they have a real opportunity here, not being in Europe, and they're really going all guns blazing. I think that if they sign Baliba, and they get a goalkeeper, and I'm saying it now, Manchester United, if they sign Baliba and they sign a goalkeeper, Manchester United will finish in the top five. I genuinely believe that.
I say top
Because
three. I say top
you
three.
say top three. Because this, like against Tottenham, I'm telling you, the games we played, there was let me check for it. There was a video I did on let me see. There was a video I did on what do you call it? On where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This where is it? No, not this one. This one. This video. In this video here, they what do you call it? I spoke about how in the games that we played Manchester United, they battered us. But the problem is that even though they battered us, they couldn't finish. There was this one miss that Garnacho had. Like, let me check for it. I mean, there was this miss that Garnacho had, and that miss, I have no words for that miss. I need to check for it for you. Like, it's something that one just has to show you. You can't put something like that into words. Okay, no, that's the Sheshko goal. It was against Spurs. It was against Spurs. Wait, no, not this one, not this one. I'm sorry, I don't.
That's all right. That's all right. Also, I might
All right,
be leaving in like 5 minutes. The cafe closes, so I'm
all
just
right, no
gonna
problem,
wrap
no
up. Yeah.
problem, no problem, no problem. Yeah, this was it. I think this is it. This is it here. No, no, I don't think it's this one. Yeah, this is it. Here, this chance here. He was through on goal. This next one, and he missed it. That whole space, that left side was open, like so open, and he still missed it. And chances like that, I'm telling you, Mbeumo is he's going to, bro. See, next season, that attack, and granted, they still have a lot of development to do. Sheshko is still young, he's still raw. Matheus Cunha, he was scoring a lot of free goals. Will he be able to convert in like another season? Such crazy numbers, and we're not talking absolute free goals. Free goals could be a one season thing. Will he be able to convert? But that on Buemo, having the likes of Bruno, and now it changes the whole conversation entirely, because if you're going to sign Baliba, it means it's going to be a midfield two of Baliba and Ugarte, which is incredible.
See,
And
Ugarte and Baliba, Bruno Fernandes, Cunha, Sesko.
That's exactly what I'm
Mbeumo.
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So now, does Bruno now move to the 10? And if Bruno moves to the 10, that means Cunha is coming out of the lineup. And now, or does Cunha move to the 9? Is Sheshko playing in the 9? They still have Zexi that can play in 10. They have Ahmad from the wings coming in. They have Dogu coming in. Their centre backs are solid. They have Euro. They have Delete. They have Maguire, who is very good in the back three, by the way. They have Lisandro. Having a good goalkeeper now is like the prospects and the potential of this United side is genuinely terrifying. And like I've been trying to explain to a lot of my friends that are United fans, if you guys watch United, the problem with United wasn't that they didn't have chances. If you even watch against Spurs, it's not that they didn't have chances, they just couldn't take their chances. They just couldn't. And now they're working on not just that, but also they want to work on the midfield. They also want to change their goalkeeper. They're going for all their problems. And these guys are not playing, they're not joking. They're genuinely not joking. But yeah, you said like 5 minutes, so I'm guessing it's like 3 minutes more.
Yeah, I mean that's again my problem with like Man U just saw the problem with finishing left winger striker. Oh, they went and got a Matthews Cunha, they got a Shesko, they got a Mbemo, they're gonna get a Baleba, they're gonna get a keeper. Why can we not just go and get the job done? If we're seeing that left wing is a problem, number 9 is a problem, number 10 is a problem, just go and get the deals done. I just don't understand why Man U is still so attractive of a club for players, and Spurs having Champions League, and also I just don't know why we are not as attractive anymore, and why I just don't know why we don't get the job done anymore. It's just frustrating. I feel like I can keep going on about this for days, but it's just so frustrating. Like you see a problem, go to the market, get it done. We have to. Levy has to stop seeing this club as an investment bank, and he has to start seeing this as a football club. He has to invest more in players than making more commercial, investments and getting more money from there. I feel like we have to start acting like a football club and stop acting like an investment bank. That's the only thing that I can say about this. And like I said, I can go days crying about this, but there is just no end to this. Every single transfer window, we keep saying, yeah, just next window will get better. Next window we'll make signings. Whoa, same old Spurs, same old Levy, same old problems. I just can't cry enough about it.
I feel your pain, brother. Believe me, I feel you. See, in my heart here, I feel it every day. I feel it today, especially. I felt it. I felt it incredibly today. But yeah, you said you soon leave. Thank you so much for coming on, Shanta. Can you like leave? Do you use WhatsApp?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right, no problem. Can you leave your number? I will text you like in the private chat. Here.
Okay, so yeah, how do I open the private chat?
All right. You leave your number for me there, and I'll like text you privately on WhatsApp.
Oh, got it.
So yeah. But thank you so much for coming on. It's really nice to meet you. Like
For sure, for sure.
I thought you were older, because I am genuinely convinced that the picture I saw, I am 100.1% sure that you looked older than like what I'm seeing here. Like, yeah, well, now that I see you now, you look so young. And I'm like, because a lot of people tell me that for my age, I look
Yeah.
like 20, 24. And now
Yeah.
my hair isn't good and everything is cut. I haven't had a haircut in a long time. But yeah, like obviously, and I haven't shaved and whatever. I can tell you've shaved. I
Yep.
can tell you. So yeah, you look quite young and everything. So yeah, like I like the picture that I saw, you looked like way older. I was thinking that you were like in your 30s or something, and then you come here and you tell me you're
No,
21.
yeah.
Oh, 21. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I'm
That's
21, but it was great talking to you, brother. Yeah, for
no
sure.
problem.
Let's do more lives coming up. Let's
No,
wait for the let's wait for the PSG game. We can do one more, and yeah, we
I,
should keep doing these.
I want to start doing every day 10 p.m. So I'll do
Okay.
one tomorrow as well. I will schedule it now. Tomorrow's one is just going to be on the top nine club. So we'll just go on about like the top nine. And when I say top nine, I mean traditional top six. And then I added Newcastle, Villa, and Newcastle, Villa, and who? Who is the last person? What am I forgetting?
Nottingham Forest.
God forbid. Those are my enemies. No, 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 no. No. I have an agenda against Forest now. Newcastle, Villa, and West Ham is the last club. Do you want us to add
Okay.
Forest?
I think Forest and also Brighton should be.
Brighton.
Mhm.
Talking about Brighton. Who when they're signing players from where? I don't know. But okay, fair enough. No problem. No problem. No
Yeah.
problem. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that
Alrighty.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, I'll see you
All right.
tomorrow, brother. Take care.
No problem. Take care, bro. All right. Bye. All right, guys. That is Shanta. I'm really excited to have met him. Honestly, I am, and it's really nice to have met him. Honestly, like I can't even put that into words. But yeah, basically, I think that's the end. That's the end today. If you're new here, please leave a like, please subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time on Not London Narratives. Have a lovely evening, because it's literally or night. Is 8 minutes away from 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. here. So yeah, good night, guys. Take care. Or good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.